Can you hide my son? Single dad knocks on Hell's Angel's door at midnight. The reason is heartbreaking. The knock sounded like thunder against the quiet street, a desperate fist slamming on a door that most people would cross the road to avoid. A single father stood there in the cold, holding his sleeping son against his chest, heart racing with the kind of fear that sinks into the bones. Behind that door lived men everyone warned him about. Men with leather jackets, roaring engines, and reputations built on danger. But tonight danger seemed safer than the world chasing him. Tonight the scariest thing wasn't the bikers. It was the thought of losing the only person he had left. If you believe kindness still lives in unexpected places, if you believe people deserve second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Because stories like this remind us that light can show up in the darkest corners. He had never imagined his life shrinking to this moment. Once, there had been a small apartment that smelled like coffee and crayons. Once, laughter had spilled through the windows, and his son would scribble crooked sons on paper while he cooked cheap meals and counted coins on the counter. Then illness arrived, first as whispers from doctors, then as bills that stacked like mountains. His job disappeared, swallowed by layoffs, and every promise he made began to sound like an echo. He sold everything that didn't breathe: furniture, tools, memories. And when the rent notice turned bright red, there was no one left to call. The world kept moving, he kept falling. The shelter was crowded. The streets were colder than the sky. He tried to work odd jobs during the day, guarding his boy at night like a soldier without armor. But bad luck found him everywhere. One evening, he found himself in the wrong place at the worst time, standing near a corner where trouble bloomed. Sirens cut the darkness, and assumptions wrapped around him like handcuffs, even though he had done nothing. He wasn't arrested, but he was warned, watched, marked. Social workers raised eyebrows. Neighbors whispered. Suddenly, the threat wasn't hunger anymore. It was the thought that someone might say he was unfit, that his son might be taken away for safety, as if strangers could love him better. That is when he heard the strangest piece of advice, murmured by a man who had lived too many winters outdoors. If you want protection, no one dares question, the man said. Knock on the door of the bikers. They guard what they care about. They remember what it means to lose. It sounded ridiculous. These were men painted by rumors and fear, but fear of losing his boy was stronger than any myth. So, near midnight, with shaking hands and a heart full of last chances, he walked up to the clubhouse door and knocked like everything depended on it. Inside, the night pulsed with engine oil smells, worn leather, and quiet conversations. His presence was an interruption, but also a confession. He didn't use fancy words or dramatic speeches. He simply laid out the truth, raw and unpolished, about a father trying to keep the world from taking his son. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for pity. He asked for a hiding place, a pause, a shield big enough to give him time to stand back up again. Something in the air shifted. These were men who had buried friends, lost families, and carried scars under their jackets. They understood the kind of fear that comes from love, not cowardice. And slowly, instead of cold shoulders, he met quiet nods. Days turned into something new, not perfect, not polished, but safer. The boy ate warm meals, played in dusty corners with mismatched toys that appeared from nowhere, and learned the names of people the rest of the world warned him about. The father worked, sweeping floors, fixing things, cleaning up after noisy nights, anything to earn his keep. He found discipline in their routines, unexpected kindness in the way they watched over his. Childlike uncles who spoke in gruff voices but carried gentle hands. He learned about loyalty, about how broken people sometimes make the strongest walls. Slowly, help began to grow beyond shelter. Someone knew a lawyer who explained his rights. Another knew a mechanic shop that needed a part-time hand. A third quietly paid an overdue medical bill without ever admitting it. Each act was small on its own, but together they stitched back some dignity he thought he had lost forever. His world stopped spinning out of control. His son started sleeping through the night again, breathing softly, the weight of fear loosening one day at a time. The transformation didn't come as a miracle. It came as mornings spent working, afternoons spent learning, and evenings filled with exhausted gratitude. It came with rules, responsibility, and the quiet understanding that this second chance wasn't charity, it was trust. He began to save money. He found a modest apartment. He signed rental papers with trembling hands, knowing he could finally write their names on a mailbox again. The day they moved out, the bikers stood outside, leaning against their bikes, pretending not to be emotional, yet every face carried pride. No one needed to say anything. The engine spoke for them, rumbling like a blessing. But the story didn't end with escape. It lived on in the way he volunteered at shelters, speaking softly to other parents who felt the ground disappearing beneath them. It lived in the way he taught his son that strength doesn't always wear uniforms, and that sometimes the roughest exteriors guard the softest hearts. He never forgot the night he knocked on a door meant to intimidate and found a family instead. What had begun as desperation turned into a lesson about humanity, that kindness isn't owned by one type of person, and redemption often grows in the places we are taught to fear. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that compassion can come from unlikely hands, please like the video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe so more people can hear stories that heal. Before we close, leave a comment and tell us what you would have done if you were that father. Your words might give someone courage they desperately need. And as the father watched his son fall asleep in their new home, a quiet peace settled over him. He knew the world could still be harsh, the future still uncertain, but he also knew something unbreakable had taken root, the belief that we are never truly alone when we dare to ask for help, and that sometimes the doors we fear the most are the ones that open to save us.